familiar with, we have the absolute value of x would be equal to, like, let's say 7. What are the possible values of x?
-7 and 7.
So we know that the values of x would be 7 and -7. We're good for that? Mm-hmm. Okay, because we know that this means distance from 0, right? That's what absolute value means. It means distance from 0. And so there are two numbers that are 7 away from 0, and that's 7 and -7. Cool for that? Here we go. So now let's say we had the absolute value of x was, let's say it's less than 7. Okay? Good. Have you written this down?
Yes.
All right. So with this absolute value of x is less than 7, what we do is we end up, we have to write the 7 and the -7, right? Because that's what we've done previously right here. Are you okay with that? Mm-hmm. But we're going to do it like this. We have the absolute value of x that we find right here. So we have x, and that is going to be less than 7. We get that from this section. Sorry. We get that from, oh, we don't have a magic pen. So we get that from this section right here. It just moves straight down. Are you okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay, but then the opposite, we're going to get -7, putting it over here. All right? And we're going to keep the sign moving in the same direction. So far, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
So if I were to graph this, I end up with the value of x. We have a -7, we have a +7. In this case, we have x is what to 7?
Less than.
Okay, we have open or closed circle?
Open.
We have open because it's just less than, okay? So it would point in this way. Okay, and then over here, we have x is what to -7?
Greater than.
It's greater than -7. So we have open circle, and it's everything greater. So this is a what kind of statement? This is an and statement, okay? So it's an and statement. Good for that? Yeah, the dance. Except I can't show the dance because we're not doing a video where we see live dance video. I can link that later. All right, so just before I do a full dance video. So let's say if we have, let's do this. If we have x plus 2, absolute value of x plus 2 is less than, let's go 10. So far, are we okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to end up with x plus 2 in the center. This guy is going to move straight down. So we have is less than 10. But what's going to go over here?
-2.
Okay, we have -10. And what it's going to be moving in the same direction like that. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And so now how am I going to solve this? What am I going to do?
Add 10.
Subtract 2.
So what was that?
Subtract 2.
So I'm going to subtract 2 from all sides. Okay, canceling that out. Are you guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we end up with 10 minus 2 is
8.
8. We have x in the center. And we have -10 minus 2 is?
-12.
-12. Awesome. And then these signs just drop down. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Booyaka. All right. So now let's graph this. And we have, let's see, we've got 0 in the middle. We've got 8. And we've got all the way over here, we've got -12. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think we do?
2 open circles.
2 open circles. That is correct. All right. And so we have x is less than 8. So it's moving this direction. Okay. And we have x is greater than -12. So it's in this direction. Okay. Whether you shade it in like this or you do the arrows up top, I really don't care. You just have to be able to create a graph that is understandable. Are you guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Now notice this. In both of these cases, we had x was, the absolute value was less than. You okay with that? Absolute value was less than. And both of these created what kind of statements? And statements. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
When the absolute value was less than, we got and statements. All right, so let's go ahead and let's try where the absolute value is greater than. Let's go with x minus 5. Absolute value of x minus 5 is going to be greater than, I don't know, give me a number.
20.
Sure, 20. Everybody okay with that? Mm-hmm. Cool. So here we go. How am I going to do this? Can somebody talk me through it?
Drop that down except for the.
You said drop that down. I'm really not
x
understanding.
minus 5.
Okay, so this right here, we're going to drop that down. So we have x minus 5.
And then greater than 20.
Greater than 20. Can somebody else keep it going for me? Yes?
You write the sign the same way.
Okay, sign is going to be moving same direction. Yeah.
-20.
-20. Everybody okay with that? Okay, what's our next step? What's our next step? Yes, sir?
Add 5.
Okay, we're going to add 5 to all sides. We end up with x. What do I have on the right side over here?
25.
We have 25. And we have what sign? X is what to 25?
Greater than.
Greater than. And over here we have
Negative 15.
negative 15. Very good.
It's greater than.
It's still greater than. Okay, and we go ahead and we graph that. So I got 0, I got 25, I got negative 15. All right. And open circles or solid dots? Open circles. Okay.
20 out.
So if x is greater than 25, what does that mean?
It goes to the right.
Okay, we're shading to the right. We're shading out this way. And if we have x is less than negative 15, what does that mean? We're shading to the left. Okay? Is that okay?
Yep.
And what statement do we have here?
Or.
We have an or statement. So we could have rewritten this as, and I'm not making you do this, but we could have rewritten this as x is greater than 25, or we have x is less than, because we see that the x is less than negative 15. Okay? So either it can be written this way, or it can be written the way that we had up here. So what do we do? Somebody talk me through. Someone, new voice, new voice. Yes, go.
So you would bring down that 2x plus 9 is less than or equal to 8. And then on the other side, you would put negative 8 is less than or equal to 2x plus 9.
Very nice. Okay, so here we go. Continuing. Sir,
You subtract 9
subtract 9.
from everywhere else too.
Everywhere, okay? Equal opportunity employer. So 8 minus 9 is what?
Negative
Negative 1. I've got a 2x in the middle still. And over here, what do we have?
Negative 17.
Negative 17. Okay, what happens now? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, what did I leave? Okay. All right, so I dropped these signs. Okay, cool. Final steps. Yes?
Divide by 2 on every side.
Divide by 2 on earthing. All right. Sorry, by 2. This cancels out. And now I have x less than or equal to, what is that?
Negative
Negative
1.5.
Or negative 1/2. Sir? Sure. Yeah. And then over here we have,
Negative 8.5.
yeah, we can go negative 8.5. Okay. I like fractions. Okay. We want to graph that out. Okay. So I've got a 0. I don't know why I did it like that. Now I've got negative 8.5 and negative 1/2. Okay. So I have all this space that I'm not going to use. X is everything what to negative 1.5? Negative 1/2. So I'm going to do an open circle.
No, dot.
Huh?
Dot.
Why?
Because
Because
it's
it's
equal
also
to,
equal to.
or possibly.
That's right. It includes this. It includes this. Hence the line underneath. Okay. And it's everything what to it?
Plus.
What did we agree? What was it? It's everything less than. So I'm like, and what about over here? Circle.
Fill it in.
Shaded in. It's got a solid because it is less than or equal to. Okay. And then it's everything what to x? X is what to this number? Sorry.
Greater than.
It's greater than. So we're like, okay, so it's an and statement. We're like, all right, so continuing. Now, what if I had, all right, so if I had, oh, look at that. Oh, you don't care. Oh. Here we go. All right. Have you written down the problem?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So what's the first thing that we do?
Adding.
We do add 8. Okay. Add 8. Booyah! And what do I get when I add 8? 21. So now I'm going to rewrite this 3 and the absolute value of negative 5x minus 6. What's that? 21? Okay. Now what do I do?
Divide by 3.
I multiply by 1/3 or divide by 3. It is the same thing. So I can divide by 3, divide by 3. So now I have the absolute value of negative 5x minus 6 is less than or equal to what number?
7.
7. Is everybody okay with this so far?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who's pumped? I'm pumped. Okay, so that was lonely. Here we go. Negative 5x minus 6 is related to that. Okay, now what? Now what?
Negative 7.
All right, so I have negative 7 on the other side. Okay. Now what do I do next? Okay, we add 6, adding 6, adding 6. Okay, cancels out. What do I get here?
13.
Okay, so I have, what was that, 13? Sorry. And then over here we have
Negative 1.
negative 1. All right, and then we have negative 5x.
5 by 5.
All right, so what am I dividing by?
Negative
Negative
5.
5.
What did you just say? I'm dividing by what?
Negative 5.
I'm dividing by
Negative.
what happens when you divide by a negative
The signs.
with inequalities?
Flip the sign.
We flip the signs. When I divide by a negative on inequalities, we flip those signs. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. We remember that? I will remember. So we get so what's this? If I have -1 over -5, what do I get?
1/5.
I get 1/5. Yeehaw. Over here,
-2 and 3/5.
-2 and 3/5. Okay. Flip now. So I have -2 and 3/5, and over here I've got 1/5. And somewhere in the middle, well, not middle, I've got 0. Okay, for shading, what do I do now?
You circle
I circle.
those two and fill them
And
in.
fill in.
Because they're less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. All right.
And
So for this one, x is greater than or equal to -2,
it's
2 and 3/5.
yeah.
So what?
You go out.
So I go from the -2 and 3/5, and I go which direction? To the what? I didn't hear it.
Left.
Left.
Oh, we're not clear. We're not clear. All right. So just think about it. X is everything greater than this number.
Right.
Okay. So it's bigger than -2 and 3/5, right?
Yes.
So that means I'm going to the right. I'm going to the right because it's greater than -2 and 3/5. Is everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then this one over here, we have x is what to 1/5?
Less than. So
Less than or equal to. That's right. So it's the number's less than. So we have an and statement. All right. Now, earlier I had said that when you have, what was it? A less than, then it's an or statement, right? Didn't I say that? Ah, but what messed it up?
It's
Flip
less
left.
than or
We
equal
flipped the
Divided by
signs because we had a negative coefficient. So when you have a negative coefficient, you flip them signs. Is that making sense?
Yes.
All right. Let me give you your homework.